Gaza as the U.S. debates what aid to provide Israel.
And in sports, Ohio football falls to rival Miami in the Battle of the Bricks. Newswatch starts right now. One more day until Halloween, and it's time for some trick-or-treating. Good evening, I'm Ethan Sargent.
And I'm Olivia Roman. Welcome to Newswatch. Here's a look at what trick-or-treats and other spooky events are planned for tomorrow. If you're over in Jacksonville tomorrow for trick-or-treat, the fire station will be offering some light refreshments following the end of the candy collection. Coolville's Ghoul Fest will include a trunk or treat, bounce house, crafts, and some broom races too. Now we're heading outside to lead forecaster Emily Dietz, who's at Porter's Pumpkin Patch over in Pomeroy.
How's it feeling out there, Emily? Are our trick-or-treaters going to be feeling the chill on their hunt for candy?
Thank you. Yeah, it's feeling pretty breezy outside right now. We're surrounded by some beautifully colored pumpkins with the orange, white, and green colors. Definitely come out and pick one up if you haven't already. We start on our way here. We saw some leaves start to fall as well, so we're really inching out of those fall-like colors and really getting into those browns of November. But it is definitely a chilly day out today. And taking a look currently at what's going on in Athens, it's about 46 degrees outside with overcast skies, and the rain that we saw the past couple of days put a lot of moisture into the air, so we're going to see a little bit more humidity increase. But those of you trick-or-treating tomorrow, definitely bundle up because we're not going to see these conditions let go anytime soon. We just had a cold front that passed that produced our clouds and our rain that we saw, and it's definitely going to be here to stay. So if you're not liking these 40-degree conditions outside, I'm sorry to tell you that they are here to hang around for a while. Now, speaking of which, these chilly conditions, that's going to produce a freeze warning going on tonight. You can see a lot of Ohio is covered by that freeze warning area, and we're expecting that to stretch down into Athens. So if you have any plants outside, make sure those get covered because the moisture in the air is going to freeze, and it's going to be a chilly, chilly morning. And tonight we'll see that overnight low of 27 degrees. So it's going to be another chilly night tonight with mostly cloudy skies. Now, right now we're still looking outside at the clouds and we're seeing a little bit of a sunset start to poke out, but those clouds are still going to be hanging around for a while, keeping everything nice and cold and really feeling like the fall we all know and we all love. So be sure to stay tuned for my full forecast. We're going to take a look at what's going on later this week as we jump into November. Back over to the desk.
Thanks for the report, Emily. We'll come back to you again a little bit later on. 24 days into early voting, and over 384,000 Ohioans have cast ballots early, including more than 236,000 who voted in person. In 2018, over 736,000 early ballots had been sent in or cast in person. But with a week to go in early voting for governor and U.S. Senate last year, more than 817,000 absent votes had been cast. 3 new Ohio projects are going to create over 2,000 new jobs statewide. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine and Lieutenant Governor John Husted announced approval for assistance of the projects after the Ohio Tax Credit Authority reviewed economic development proposals. The proposals were brought to the board by Jobs Ohio and its regional partners. The projects are expected to result in more than $152 million in new payroll and spur more than $482 million in investments across Ohio. The projects will be primarily located in the Dayton and Cleveland areas.
A Portsmouth woman is pleading not guilty to hitting and killing a man with an SUV in New Boston in September. 41-year-old Brooklyn Frazee was indicted by a grand jury for aggravated murder, along with 12 additional counts in the death of 44-year-old Darrell Donahoe. According to Scioto County Sheriff David Thurlman, his office received multiple 911 calls that day about a woman in an SUV chasing a man on a motorcycle. Frazee's bond hearing is scheduled for tomorrow in Scioto County. Until then, she is being held without bond. The Washington County Sheriff's Office is asking for help finding an individual who is believed to have stolen groceries. Deputy Gaynor began an investigation at the Barlow Dollar General on State Route 550 in Barlow Township. The individual is believed to have removed groceries from the store without payment. Shown here are still photographs of the subject taken from the security footage. If anyone has any information to the identity of this subject, please contact the Washington County Sheriff's Office at 740-376-7070.
Public Service Commission of West Virginia is approving a major solar power project in Mason County. The site will include a 100-megawatt solar electric generating facility on 1,555 acres, about 3.5 miles south of New Haven. The energy produced will be sent through an existing power line to Appalachian Power Companies and the regional electrical network of which West Virginia is a member, according to the application. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources is breaking ground on a 3,300 square foot project in the Salt Fork State Park Eco Discovery Center. Visitors of all ages will soon be able to experience the immersive learning adventure with a patio, a rain garden, meadow plantings, native trees, and a trail leading through the habitats and to the lake. The center, which will replace an aging nature center at the park, will sit approximately 2.5 miles from the park entrance. The center is expected to be completed in the summer of 2024 and will cost $4.97 million. Still ahead, what U.S. aid for Gaza looks like amid fears of anti-Semitism, and how you can change your lifestyle to stay healthy as diabetes becomes a concern for many when we come back.
Things cooled down pretty rapidly these past couple of days, and we're expecting a couple of flurries in our forecast. Stay tuned to Newswatch for your weather coming up this week.
Saturday at 10 on WOUB.
It's Elvis Presley!
Elvis was a very patriotic fellow. He was more sensitive now to understanding World War II since he wasn't in it, and understanding about this story.
Thursday at 10 on WOUB.
It was about dancing.
That feeling of being completely free.
It was a cultural and musical phenomenon that pulsed through the nation's dance clubs. But not everyone was a fan. One wild night at a Chicago ballpark turned into one of the strangest early flashpoints in the culture wars.
One of the saddest sights I've ever seen in a ballpark in my life.
The War on Disco on American Experience.
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
The Cartober fundraising drive is on. Help give back this month by donating your used car, truck, RV, or boat to our station. Donating is easy and it's tax deductible. Just call this toll-free number. Schedule your free pickup, we'll tow it and give you a donation receipt. Can't donate a car? Spread the word by telling your friends or family and using the hashtag Cartober2023. Learn more by calling this toll-free number or visiting us online.
General Motors and the United Auto Workers Union are finally reaching an agreement, tentatively. That's been confirmed by both sides. The tentative deal comes about 6 weeks into the workers' strike and just days after the union expanded the strike at the nation's largest automaker. This also comes after the UAW reached a tentative deal with Ford and Stellantis last week. Israel is opening a new front in its war against Hamas, launching ground operations into Gaza over the weekend. Israeli military leaders say forces killed dozens of Hamas fighters overnight, striking targets in northern Gaza where casualties continue to increase. And here at home, more cases of anti-Semitism on college campuses are under investigation. Gloria Pazmino gives us a look at what the war's developments and the ripple effect around the globe.
Smoke rises from Gaza following a steady barrage of artillery. Israel moving ahead with what it says is the second stage in its war against Hamas.
Calls for a ceasefire are calls for Israel to surrender to Hamas, to surrender to terrorism.
Israel's military says it killed dozens of Hamas fighters overnight, including 4 prominent Hamas operatives. As the conflict escalates, the human toll continues to rise inside Gaza. According to Save the Children, more than 3,000 children were killed in Gaza over the past 3 weeks, as reported by the Hamas-controlled health ministry. Here at home, a series of anti-Semitic incidents on college campuses is raising alarms. Over the weekend, a series of anti-Semitic threats was made against Cornell University's Jewish community in a series of online posts, prompting Governor Kathy Hochul to deploy state police and increase security on campus.
I came here in person with one strong message, that we will not tolerate threats or hatred or anti-Semitism or any kind of hatred that makes people feel vulnerable.
And in Russia, an angry crowd in the mostly Muslim region of Dagestan stormed an airport Sunday where a flight from Israel arrived. Authorities were forced to close the facility and divert flights. In New York, I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
U.S. Senator J.D. Vance from Ohio is pushing his colleagues to separate funding for Israel and Ukraine. This comes as Congress' new House Speaker, Mike Johnson, vowed to move forward with a $14.5 billion Israel aid package when the House returns later this week. The bill would be separate from any legislation on aid to Ukraine, and it sets up a showdown with the Democratic-controlled Senate and White House. Democrats want to link Israel and Ukraine because Ukraine and on its own faces an uncertain path in the GOP-led House. Amid the violence is some good news as U.S. gas prices continue to fall. The average price for a gallon of regular gas was $3.50 yesterday. That's lower than last week, according to AAA. Gas is always cheaper in the fall, and AAA says prices are following a similar pattern as we head closer to the holidays. But the war between Israel and Hamas could change things. If the war grows into a broader regional conflict, it could eventually encompass major oil producers. The Biden administration's new executive order today is aimed at keeping artificial intelligence power constrained and the technology developers accountable. Mike Valerio takes a look at the problems and prospects of AI and how the federal government is responding to the need for regulation.
Artificial intelligence technology is advancing rapidly, and the federal government is scrambling to keep up.
I'm about to sign an executive order that is the most significant action any government anywhere in the world has ever taken on AI safety, security, and trust.
The White House unveiling a sweeping new executive order Monday aimed at mitigating the risks of AI while also harnessing its potential.
To realize the promise of AI and avoid the risk, we need to govern this technology.
According to the Biden administration, the order will require all AI developers to share results of their safety tests with the federal government before they're released to the public, compel companies to notify the government if an AI model in development poses national security, economic, or health risks, ease immigration barriers for skilled workers to study and stay in the U.S., establish standards to prevent AI production of dangerous biological materials, and develop best practices to minimize the risks of AI displacing human workers. Among a number of other key concerns, Harvard's Bruce Schneier says getting AI regulation right is critical.
They're not freewheeling technologies. They're more like pharmaceuticals. You get them wrong and people die.
He says AI has the potential to transform the way we live and work for the better if the technology is kept in check.
This is going to be the beginning of a very long international process, but it's a start and it's an important start.
I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Lead forecaster Emily Dietz is back with us at the pumpkin patch where it's not too late to pick up Halloween's favorite porch step decorations. Emily?
Good evening. We are here at Porter's Pumpkins and Jada's Corn Maze. We're seeing some beautiful colored pumpkins out here as well as some mums, and it's not too late to pick up yours this week, getting the table ready for Thanksgiving dinner or even some last-minute Halloween decorations. It's a pretty chilly night tonight overall, and we're starting to see a little bit of a sunset start to poke out, but overall we're still seeing some very overcast skies. Taking a look at current conditions in Athens, we're seeing it's about 46 degrees outside with, once again, those overcast skies. It's also gotten pretty humid recently. Throughout the day today, we had some rain move through. It was a bit of a steady rain, also cooled everything down a lot, and that's what put a lot of moisture in the air, creating a lot of these humid conditions that we're seeing. And what happened to cause this rain is we had a cold front that moved through, helping to produce some of this rain as this cold weather moved right up against that warm, muggy air. And those clouds are also right along that boundary of that cold front. And what we're going to expect to see later this week as a result of that cold front is a lot of cold air. So taking a look across the U.S., we're seeing these temperatures around the mid 40s as well. And that's what we're going to be seeing for the rest of this week. So unfortunately, if you enjoyed that 70-degree weather we saw a week ago, you are in for some bad luck because it is going to be chilly this week. Now, tonight we'll be seeing a freeze warning for all of Ohio, and we're expecting that to stretch down into Athens as well. So make sure if you have any plants outside, you take them inside or cover them, because we're going to see temperatures drop tonight to about 27 degrees. So it is going to be a pretty chilly night tonight. And if you like stargazing in cold weather, unfortunately, this isn't your night either. We're seeing mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow won't be very different from today. We will be seeing a lot less rain as of no rain and partly sunny skies. However, temperature-wise, it is still going to be very cold outside. We're expecting a high of 47 degrees, so make sure wherever you're going, you pack those jackets, and another overnight low of 25 degrees, so don't expect those freeze warnings or advisories to go away anytime soon. Now tomorrow, we're going to see a low starting to hang around about the Great Lakes area, and tomorrow night, that low is still going to be hanging around. That's actually going to produce a couple more clouds for us, and maybe seeing some snow flurries going on into Wednesday. Now, it is a little bit too warm outside for that snow to really be sticking, but that is a great way to kick off November 1st. As we see that coming up on Wednesday. And the next 3 days, we're looking at, once again, Tuesday, another chilly day. Wednesday, very similar to Tuesday, with our high of 46 and our low of 23 degrees. And looking at our 7-day, Thursday, that'll be a little bit warmer. We'll be back up into the 50s, but unfortunately, that is only going to be 52 degrees with an overnight low of 28. Friday, our high of 58, so we're going to reach up there a little bit. Unfortunately, it's not going to hang around too much longer because Saturday and Sunday will be in the early 60s, but our overnight conditions are still going to be chilly going on into this week. And right now, I'm getting pretty cold just standing out here, so make sure if you're planning on going out tonight or in the next couple of days, bring those jackets, bring those gloves, and bring those hats, especially if you're planning on trick-or-treating or seeing any Halloween festivities tomorrow as we wrap up October. Now, back over to the desk.
Thanks, Emily. New research is discovering how heat-related heart deaths could triple in the next few decades. Study from the journal Circulation found there were nearly 1,700 cardiovascular deaths associated with days of extreme heat each year between 2008 and 2019. But if the planet continues to warm without mitigation, the number of heat-related cardiovascular deaths could triple by 2036, which means there could be 5,500 excess deaths per year. More than 37 million people are living with diabetes in the U.S. It's a chronic disease that affects how your body turns food into energy. Mandy Gaither has 5 ways to help prevent health problems from diabetes.
It's a common disease, but millions of Americans may not even know they have diabetes, even though early detection is critical.
As soon as you can have the diagnosis made, the sooner the proper treatment can begin.
Diabetes can damage the eyes, kidneys, nerves, and heart.
If you have high blood glucose, you're more likely to have high blood pressure and high cholesterol. And those 3 factors, either independently and certainly working together, can damage the small vessels in our bodies.
You can prevent diabetes-related health problems by taking charge of your health. That includes adopting healthy lifestyle habits like a sensible diet. Physical activity and getting adequate sleep is also important, as is managing stress and taking medicines on time.
Smoking also has a detrimental effect on your small blood vessels. And so, especially with people with diabetes, we want to suggest that they try to stop smoking.
Experts say small health changes over time can make a big difference and may not be as overwhelming.
You can begin to make choices that you are more likely to stick to.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Coming up in sports, Ohio football falls to rival Miami in the Battle of the Bricks. And for the latest from Newswatch, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
I warned you that if he took his money, it would be in his debt.
I had no choice about that.
There is always a choice. Where is he?
Where's who?
Nish.
I don't trust him.
He has a network, resources.
I got entangled with some Italian Americans.
You find a way to get my employers what they want.
I think I have a solution. Are you trying to get me killed? Leave the spirits to the big boys.
Sunday at 8 on WOUB.
On Masterpiece.
You mustn't make a sound. There are ears everywhere.
Your enemy now looks like your friend. It's murky and it stinks, but this is the fight now.
Our loyal service does not merit a salute.
Sir, you will discipline your men or you will all face the consequences.
We hold the line at all costs.
What is he doing?
World on Fire on Masterpiece.
Sunday at 9 on WOUB.
Remember, first impressions.
This is just the beginning.
To a change in fortunes.
I'm awake. I feel like I've opened my eyes. The world is changing.
I think we should take it to the next level.
I thought that was rather jolly.
So much fun.
You make a good team.
And what will you tell the child when they ask where their dad is?
There's a war. I'll tell them you're dead.
If we can find him, we'll get him.
I'm here to make sure justice gets done.
I really love you more than anything.
It's really loud.
Shall we?
Fortune favors the bold.
It feels more like the start of something than the end.
Welcome back. I'm Lucy Schaefer. Ohio dropped a crucial game against Miami in the Battle of the Bricks on Saturday, 30-16. The Bobcats got off to a quick start. C.A. Bangura got them on the board with a 1-yard run into the end zone. The defense shut down Miami and didn't allow a single first down in the first quarter. From that point on, Miami came back flying and outscored Ohio 30-7. Penalties proved to be a problem for the Bobcats. They had 11 of them for 78 yards and converted on only 3 of their 14 third downs. Quarterback Curtis Rourke talks about how costly penalties put the Bobcats in difficult situations.
I think they were just more disciplined on first and second down than we were. I think we got a lot of third and long situations, which for the most part this season we've avoided. We've been a pretty good third down team this year, and that's mainly because we didn't put ourselves in tough situations, and that kind of changed tonight.
The Bobcats now fall to a 6-3 overall record and are 3-2 in conference play. The loss makes for a challenging path ahead for Ohio to win the MAC East title. In order to do so, the Bobcats need to win out the remainder of the season, which includes games against Buffalo, Central Michigan, and Akron. They also need Miami to lose 2 of its last 3 games. The Redhawks still have to play Akron, Buffalo, and Ball State. Those 3 teams have a combined 6-18 record this season. The Bobcats will look to bounce back when they travel to Buffalo on November 7th. Ohio soccer opened MAC tournament play with a 2-0 victory over Ball State in the MAC quarterfinals yesterday. Ohio's leading scorer Shane Robertson found the back of the net 13 minutes in to get the scoring started. Reigning MAC Offensive Player of the Week Izzy Boyd extended Ohio's lead with a little over 10 minutes left to give the Bobcats a 2-point advantage. This victory gave Ohio their first MAC tournament game win since 2019 against Western Michigan. Ohio will face second seed Bowling Green in the semifinals on Thursday with first touch at 11 a.m. Ohio volleyball also saw some action this weekend, traveling to Toledo on Friday. The Bobcats took the crown, winning 3-1. Caitlin O'Farrell led the Bobcats by totaling 20 kills and 22 points. The 2 teams competed very closely, but the Bobcats stayed 1 step ahead with their impressive stats, notably outplaying the Rockets in blocks 18-8. Ohio won the first set 25-19, but Ohio came back and won 25-20 in the second set. Ohio took the reins for the rest of the match and won in both the third and fourth sets. The fun didn't stop there for the Bobcats when they met Ball State in Muncie, Indiana on Saturday. Unfortunately for Ohio, this match didn't bring the same fate. It fell 1-3 in a competitive offensive battle. Ball State won the first set 25-22, but Ohio responded with a similar 25-22 win in the second. The Cardinals came back firing, dominating in third and fourth sets. With only 5 games left for Ohio, it holds a 2-game lead over Bowling Green and Akron. Western Michigan continues to be red hot and remains undefeated at 13-0 in conference play. Right behind the Broncos sits 11-2 Ball State and 10-3 Buffalo. Toledo has the same conference record as Ohio at 8-5. Bowling Green, Central Michigan, and Akron round out the top 8, all with 6-7 records.
Thank you, Lucy. Still to come, how the White House is celebrating Halloween this year.
In a New York City nursing home, a group of Black and brown artists with disabilities fight COVID and the city to protect the lives of its residents.
Corona, you have me confused and confined.
Fire Through Dry Grass on POV.
Tonight at 10 on WOUB.
Mitch McConnell insisting there's no reason for him to step down.
The powerful senator.
There's nobody who's more focused on political conquest.
An uncertain future.
Concern is growing for the 81-year-old leader.
He's a leader in a party that he doesn't really know. How long do they want him to do that?
And his legacy.
That's the big accomplishment, getting more conservative judges on the federal courts.
He had the power to do it, and so he did.
Tuesday at 10 on WOUB.
It is hard to pull yourself away.
Those details are wonderful.
This is just something that you don't find. It's the sort of find of a lifetime.
Our spies explore how ocean creatures feel.
Humans started to modify the landscape in a way that we've never done before.
It's not just a skull anymore. I'm staring at a face from thousands of years ago.
Wednesday on WOUB.
Asking tough questions to those in power.
Should Democrats supply their votes if it means avoiding a government shutdown?
Do you see more of a benefit to your nation's relationship with Russia or with the U.S.?
All the homes are gone, all the buildings are gutted.
And covering events as they unfold.
What goes through your mind when you see fire that close to your home?
Oh my God, am I gonna die?
PBS NewsHour, weeknights on PBS and streaming.
Finally tonight, President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are welcoming trick-or-treaters to the White House to celebrate Halloween. The invitation list includes local Washington, D.C. area students and children from military families. Representatives from several government agencies, including the Department of Transportation, State Department, and NASA, will be on hand to help pass out candy. My favorite Halloween candy has to be M&M's. What about you guys?
I mean, mine's the Three Musketeers personally. What about you?
See, I'm a Rolos person.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I love Rolos.
I do like some good caramel.
All right. Well, we're heading back out to Emily for a final look at how the start of November will be feeling.
Good evening. We stepped inside the barn here at Porter's Pumpkin Patch and Jada's Corn Maze because it was getting pretty chilly outside. And taking a look tonight, we're expecting a freeze warning for a lot of the state of Ohio, and we're expecting that to come down into Athens as well. Tonight we'll see an overnight low of 27 degrees with those mostly cloudy skies. So unfortunately, we are starting to see a little hint of a really nice sunset starting to poke out, but unfortunately that's gone away as a lot of these clouds have started to move through. Tomorrow, however, we're going to expect a high of 47 degrees, so very, very cold outside with another 25-degree low. So we're anticipating another freeze warning or at least a freeze advisory going on later this week. On Wednesday, we're taking a look at a couple of clouds starting to pop in, and that's off November with a couple of snow flurries that evening. Now, unfortunately, I know I'm very excited about the snow, but it's not going to stick. It's a little too soon for that. But still, taking a look at our next 7 days, it is going to be pretty chilly the rest of this week. We're expecting to only get up into the mid-low 60s, later this week. And it's absolutely gorgeous out tonight. A little chilly, but still a beautiful fall night. And it's still going to be chilly the rest of this week. So make sure wherever you go, you pack appropriately, wear your hat, wear your gloves, and wear your jacket, because this fall weather is here to stay. Back over to the desk.
Emily, that's going to just about do it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Lucy Schaefer and Emily Dietz, I'm Ethan Sargent.
And I'm Olivia Roman. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org or follow us on social media. Have a great night.
Perfect.
Support for PBS NewsHour is proudly provided by Luke S. Frazier.